Hello everyone, welcome to the Nurse Desk here with Nursing Crafts, and in today's video, as you would have seen from the title, we will be discussing the dreaded Nclex exam, okay? So if you want to learn some tips that will help you to pass the Nclex in the first try, like I did, then you want to stick around for this video. So I think the Nclex is the hardest exam on the planet. Okay, the most dreaded exam on the planet, and mainly for nurses, obviously. The Nclex is like your foundation to your nursing career, and so that is why it is so important to pass it and to do these steps. For me, I didn't go to a nursing school in the United States. I went in the Caribbean, as you may know from now that I am from the Bahamas. We don't need to take the Nclex in order to get our license as a nurse. So no, nursing school did not prepare us to take the Nclex exam. If I passed it, if I could do it, you could definitely do it too. Let's get on to the tips. So, number one, give yourself time. Now, a lot of you would have graduated from school, and in a matter of like a week or 2 weeks, you decide, well, hey, I want to take my Nclex. No, don't be rushed. Don't be pressured. Take the Nclex when you feel ready. Now, mind you, you may not ever feel ready, but take the Nclex when you know you would have put in that time to study and prepare. With making time, you want to set goals. I think 3 months is a good amount of time to study for the Nclex because I did it in less than 3 months. So give yourself time and set goals, set realistic goals. With setting goals, you may want to say, well, each day I'm going to do 60 questions, whether it's content questions, whether it's different types of questions, like your select all that apply or your multiple choice. It's up to you. Number two, when you're studying, you need a peaceful environment. Now, not an environment that's going to put you to sleep, because one like me, if you allow me to study in my bed, I'm going to study in the bedroom, in my bed. You did that little nudge that was like, hey, get up, go to the table and go study. And so that's what I had to do. I had to get up out the bed, go to the table and study. You can go to the library. Places like Starbucks, I don't know, maybe too much of a distraction maybe, but if that works for you, then do that. But the point is to put yourself in a conducive environment that would allow you to focus, not be distracted, and read, study, write, whatever it is that you have to do in order to retain the information in your noggin. Number three, now we're going to get into the study materials that I used a little bit later, maybe in a part 2, because I really don't want to make this video too long. But after you've chosen your study resources, you want to make a cheat sheet. So when reviewing your notes, and you're not going to go back to your notes way from nursing school. No, we're not doing that, okay? We are not doing that because it's way too much books, way too much pages in those books, and just too much information to try and retain. And I'm not someone that retains a lot of information, especially if I know I have to try and remember that information. No, baby. You want to get a good resource book or study guide that's going to give you only the information that you need to know for the exam. The rest of that information, you could go and review that later. But for the purpose of the exam, you only want to read and study what you need to know for the test. Make a cheat sheet with things that you feel that you may need to learn, but probably won't remember. So I made a cheat sheet, or more like study notes, but a cheat sheet sounds, a little bit cooler. So I made a cheat sheet with my lab values. And you want to write those down, and whenever you go somewhere, let's say you're going to work, you can pull that out on your break. And I guess it's a cheat sheet too, because it's just something small and compact that you can pull out and review. In the new exam that's coming up, I believe they may give you the lab values in the case study, not sure, but just make sure you know your lab values in any event. Calculations, you may need to go over, your formulas. You may need that to stick. Medication was a bit difficult for me because a lot of our medications, I don't want to say they're different from what other countries use, but you have the drug class, you have the drug name, and then you have, I forgot what's the other name. But anyway, sometimes drugs are the same, but they have different names, okay? So all of those things you can write on your cheat sheet so that if you don't want to log your big textbook around, you'll have your cheat sheet on you to always refer back to. So speaking of those study resources, you only want to use 1 or 2 sources. For me, I did use a variety of things, but I think that is confusing. So for you, because I did it that way, I'm giving you the right way to do it, which is to only use about 2 sources. So I was all over the place, and then I had like random books. I was all over the place, but I am going to go into more detail of what exactly I used to help me in another video. Stay tuned for that. The next tip is to start with whatever your problem area is. If you know that you can get the cardiovascular system to stick in your head, then okay, the heart is where I need to start with first. Okay, the same with the questions. If you feel as if select all that apply are the hardest type of questions for you to do, you want to go and practice those questions first. But I feel as if getting the content down first is easier, or it makes more sense, because you need to know the content in order to answer the questions, right? So once you get your content down first, now you should be able to go and practice those questions to be able to put that content in place. That is all I have for you for today. If I think of anything else, I'll include it in the other video. Stay tuned for part 2 on the actual study materials that I used. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, comment on the video, and definitely subscribe. Like, what are you doing? Subscribe down below to Nursing Crafts. Let's build this family, and I will see you guys in the next video.